What is going on YouTube? It's Eric JP back with a brand new review video, brand new pair of kicks to go over with you guys today, and we will get into those here in just a minute. If you guys haven't checked out any of my other videos, please do so. Smash that subscribe button, hit that like button, and definitely hit that notification bell because it will notify you every single time that I do upload a video. If you guys didn't know this, I've said this on quite a few videos, so I'm sorry to keep saying it over and over again. But I do write basketball sneaker performance reviews on Sneakers Detroit website. I will leave their Instagram information as well as a link to one of my performance reviews in the description box below. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, my Instagram username is the exact same as my YouTube channel name, and it's spelled the exact same way, so it's easy to find me over on Instagram as well. But guys, I know you're here to see these PG4s, and let's go ahead and take a look at them and give you my initial thoughts on them overall. So just remember in this video, this is not my actual performance review on these sneakers. I have played in them one time. I will get into that a little bit later, but overall, this is not my performance review. I do want to do a little bit more testing in them before I do give you guys a full performance review on them and obviously actually write a performance review. But this is just the initial, I'm going to call it unboxing and initial overview, just because I have already, obviously, I guess it's not really even an unboxing because I have played in them once, but that's just what we're going to go with and call it. But moving on, here is the actual box. It is just the standard PG4 box. You can see the logo on top, Paul George 4 on the back of the box here. And then sizing, I did go with the size 12. As you guys know, if you do watch any of my videos, I'm a true 11.5. We'll get into that all here in just a minute. So PG4, black, white, light smoke gray. Retail on these is $110. So here is the actual shoes. As obviously you can tell from the color code, it is the white and black pair with the gray swoosh. We'll talk about the overall structure of the shoe just a little bit. So you do have a white midsole, as you can see, a translucent and white outsole. Traction pattern is pretty cool. As you can see there, obviously we'll get more into the traction pattern and how it actually performs on court when I actually do the performance review. You can see number 13 right here, obviously commemorating Paul George's number. And then you've got some other key features right here, numbers and letters. I don't even know what exactly all of that means, but if you are very interested, you can obviously look that up. You do have a little black and gray pull tab on the back here, and then obviously Paul George's signature on the actual heel of the shoe. So you do have a gray Nike swoosh, as I already went over. Obviously you do have a zipper on this actual shoe. You have black standard laces inside, and it's almost like a foot bed, a booty, almost like construction inside. I'm not even gonna call it really a booty, but I guess technically it kind of is. I'm gonna try to show you what I'm saying here. It's like from here down is a booty, but this is more constructed to the actual shoe and the actual heel counterpart of it. And then here's obviously the inside of the shoe as well. So the PG4s feature a full-length Strobel Air unit. The KD12s had full-length Zoom Strobel, and these have full-length Air Strobel. So that's another thing testing-wise that's going to be really cool to test out and see the difference between these and the actual I'm sorry, I just confused my own self. The difference between the full-length Air Strobel board and the full-length Zoom Strobel board in the KD12s compared to the PG4s. So this zipper part, one thing that I wanted to go over, as I told you guys, I went with a size 12. This is probably one of the hardest shoes to put on that I can remember in most recent memory. It is definitely a very, very tough shoe to get onto your feet. I actually, when I tried it on in store, I was like, man, I don't even know if I want to buy these. They're so difficult to put on. I went with my true 11.5 when I went to try them on, and I actually asked, the person helping me to let me try them in a size 12. I like the fit a little bit better, but I'm not gonna lie, still trying to get the shoe on and off was very, very difficult. So we'll talk about the zipper a little bit. When I saw initial images of the PG4, I wasn't that crazy about it just because of this actual little zipper area. I thought that it was just super plain looking on the shoe. Now, some of the other colorways that are a little bit different or more vivid colors, like the Gatorades, as well as the plaids that just released. Those are really cool colorways. I actually really, really liked that plaid colorway a lot, but it's just a shoe that I feel like I would rather have just to wear around than actually play in. I would rather have this colorway to play in. If you guys haven't been able to tell, I usually like playing in more like bland colors on some occasions, and then I like wild colors on others. But at the same time, if I'm really wanting to test a shoe and take it through the complete works. I like more of a bland colorway just for the fact of no matter how much you play in it or tear them up, they're still going to overall look pretty decent, you know, because it's not going to be able to tell as many marks and things on the actual shoe for the most part. But overall, one thing that I did really want to go over with you guys is right here, the lace or the top eyelet here. So it basically comes out like this. So there's two ways, obviously, you can lace the shoe up when you tie it for performance wear, or I guess just wearing around in general. But the way that I like to do it is leave the laces on the outside of the actual zipper part. As you can see here, that looks more of how it's probably supposed to actually work, because when you know, obviously pull this tighter, I'm going to try to do this the best I can with being on camera here, guys. When you pull it tighter, you know, you're actually tightening this area of the shoe. Whereas if you have the laces behind the actual zipper compartment or area, it almost is down inside the actual shoe, or it actually is down inside. So you have a little bit tougher time actually getting to, I would say if you do it this way, you're going to have a few performance issues. You're not going to get the full performance effect from the actual shoe, and it could, you know, make a little bit of a difference on how the shoe actually performs on court. But visually, I mean, it doesn't bother me. Obviously, you can tell they've kind of loosened up at this point, but obviously it doesn't really bother me having them out here. If they untie, you know, I can obviously go down and actually just lace them back up or tie them right back up. If it's behind it, obviously have to unzip them. But I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't so much worried about, they're so daggone tight on foot. I'm not so much worried about the actual laces because they're so tight already. So now, the next thing that I want to get into with you guys about the actual PG4. This, as I said, is not the performance review, but I do want to give you guys a little bit of information about me at this very time. So I actually hooped, not this past Friday, but the Friday before. I sprained my ankle pretty bad. I tore it up pretty good. So I'm not going to be playing, I'm going to say, for the next several weeks. Now, when I started that night, I actually started out testing the Peak Lightning. This is Lou Williams' signature shoe. So I started out testing these guys, and I'm getting ready to write a performance review on these. I didn't get to do as much testing in them as I really wanted to, but at the same time, obviously I'm hurt now. It's gonna be a little bit before I'm able to start playing again, so I'm gonna do the best I can and go ahead and give the overall review. And at the same time, these were a little bit big for me. They didn't fit me completely well, so I'm gonna give the best knowledge that I overall can. But back to my point, I started out playing in these, played several games in them, whatever. As I said, they were too big. I started getting a little bit of issues with sliding and things like that. So I decided to switch to the PG4s. So when I switched to the PG4s, I played a couple games, and I want to say it was in the second game, I actually went up very lightly for a layup. I beat my man off the dribble, going up for a simple layup. Didn't even go with any real aggression or extreme jumping or anything like that. Just basically going up lightly for a layup. And when I came down, the guy, I landed on his foot and just kind of rolled it over. And that's where it did it. And it was a very, very bad roll, guys. I'm telling you, I've been in so much pain with this ankle sprain. I believe it's a high ankle sprain, not just a normal ankle sprain. So, but my point that I wanted to get to about the ankle sprain with this shoe, one thing that really bothered me about the PG4 overall is that I feel like you don't really sit inside the midsole. You're basically almost on top of the midsole, and I wish I could kind of show you this on foot, but I don't have any camera footage of it or anything like that, and I'm just going to keep rolling on with this video. But you kind of, I feel like, you know, if you look at it from here, it kind of does look like there's a little bit of an outrigger, because as I said, it's almost like you're sitting up here on top of the shoe. So one thing that comes to my mind is like the LeBron 15s, how you're kind of sitting tall in the shoe, and it's a little bit easier to, you know, roll your ankle over. I felt that pretty solid most of the time in this shoe. I felt like it could be an issue of actually rolling your ankle over. So one thing I will say, if you're watching this video for basketball purposes or reasons, just wondering what the shoe actually maybe performs like. As I said, this is not the full performance review, but I will give you that little bit of knowledge. The two things that I will say most that I noticed from my first initial playing in this shoe, and it was probably only an hour before I got hurt, if that long, was that you sit really high, you're not down in the midsole where I feel completely locked in like I like to feel, and especially a low top basketball sneaker. And the second part was the sizing. Obviously, you need to go up half a size. In my personal opinion, I would definitely recommend trying these on before purchasing them because, as I said, it's just one of those things. It's a very, very tough sneaker to get on. And I went in with full intentions of leaving with this shoe, and I almost didn't leave with the shoe because, as I said, it was so tight to get on. I just didn't know how I was going to like them overall. But I do want to thank you guys for tuning in today and checking out this video, this initial overview video on the Nike PG4s. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Here pretty soon, I'm going to be doing a initial unboxing / review video on these guys right here. This is another one of Lou Williams' signature shoes. It was a care package that I got in the mail from Peak. They actually sent me these over to make a review on and do a performance review on. So as soon as I get healthy, I'll be finishing the testing on the PG4s and then jumping straight into these guys. But with all that being said, I will be making, as I said, an unboxing for those, and I hope you guys did enjoy this video on the PG4s. But thanks again for tuning in today, guys. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate everyone's support, and we'll be back very, very soon with some more sneakers. Peace.